Hi, today I'm going to show you how to quickly add wraps to objects. This is the object I want to wrap things around. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add a cylinder straight to the center of it. You go ahead and scale it up, scale along the z-axis. I'm going to go into the edit mode here and I'm going to add a couple of loop cuts to it. Then I'm going to delete a couple things. I want to delete the top, I want to delete the bottom. And I'm going to use this cool Alt-click tool or trick to select a few of these rings, and I'm going to go ahead and delete those. I'm going to go back in object mode, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a thing called the shrink wrap modifier. I'm just going to target, I'm going to click the object we want to wrap around. As we see, that looks kind of wonky at the moment. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to offset, and we're going to bring this up until we start seeing the full shapes. If we click on this and we bring it up or down, it'll stay attached to that shape. And that's what's really neat about this. All right. Now I'm going to do real quick, just for the sake of wanting to look at something a little nicer, I'm going to go ahead and add subdivision surface to these rings. I'm going to shade them smooth, and then I'm going to add a little thing called the solidify modifier, and this is going to give it a little bit of thickness. Go into the edit mode for the cylinder. We're going to press A, and I'm going to go ahead and press P and separate my loose parts, and it's going to turn everything into its own ring. It's very important that you select all of these rings. You right click and you set the origin to geometry. This way you can do things like if you rotate around the y-axis, it will give it a little bit of a, so it's not such a perfectly set ring. We're going to have some clipping here. You can fix that by bringing up the offset a little bit. If you have a lot of wraps, kind of adjusting each one individually could start getting kind of tedious. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to go back. You can select all of them. You click Object, Transform, and we go to Randomize Transform. We're going to turn off Scale, and we're going to turn off Location. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just the X-axis and the Y-axis. I'm going to click on the X-axis, drag down to the Y, and I'm just going to drag both of these, and it'll automatically change all their rotations together, different ways. We can use the random seed to kind of change how we want those to look until we find kind of a design that we're okay with, which is not that one for me. All right, and then we're just going to go through and, like I said, alter the offsets a little bit. And I were to add a loop cut in the middle and scale that up, they would all adjust with it. All right, now obviously, if I scale this up a lot, you can see now they're clipping again. So what we can do is we can select these and we can scale them up. But now what starts happening is you run into this little issue where they start changing into these wonky looking shapes, which, okay, maybe you want that. Maybe you don't want them to always look perfect. That's understandable. But if you were hoping that they would just stay perfect, there's a really simple fix to that. Just go ahead and click on them, and where it says shrink wrap, go to wrap method, and you want to do target normal project, and that'll keep them shaped the way that they were before. Or you can always go into your edit mode and you can start altering the shape. Usually it's a matter of bringing those edges closer or further away. And then of course, if you want to, you can mess with the settings of the wrap shapes themselves to try to give it some little wrinkles and such. Sometimes I like to do some stuff like subdivide it, give it a little bit of randomize, maybe smooth that out a tad, and then make some little adjustments right after that, just to give it a little bit more of a wrappy kind of like quality instead of just perfectly shaped rings. And then what's neat about that is you can still slide those around and it'll still maintain that nice wrappy shape. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I hope you found this incredibly useful. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.